So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was desired to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate, and she also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of both of them were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves loincloths. Now, someone from the world would read this account, and they would say, well, this is enlightenment. Their eyes are now open. But what actually happened was the true wisdom that God gave Adam and Eve was exchanged for worldly wisdom. The godly wisdom that came from above was all they needed to be successful and fulfilled and pure was to trust God, be with Him, and do what He said. That's all you have to do. It's all you have to worry about. Adults, wouldn't it be cool if the only thing that we would ever have to worry about in this life is don't eat from that tree and everything else is free game? Wouldn't that be cool? And so real godly wisdom is just trust me and show me you trust me through your obedience. That's all you have to worry about. But that wasn't enough. So they exchanged godly wisdom for worldly wisdom, which did open their eyes, but it opened their eyes to rebellion and shame. You know the ironic part of this was the fig leaves that they sewed onto themselves is equivalent of poison ivy. I'll let it register. So you go from being in paradise, having everything you could ever want and desire, you're naming the animals, everything is in subject to you, you're walking with God in the cool of the day, you have it made, paradise on earth, to tying poison ivy around your sensibles. Not so ironic. Then God, being rich in love and mercy, comes along and He shows them how to make clothes out of animal skins. Here, let me take care of you. Because He's kind and compassionate and merciful. You exchange divine wisdom for demonic wisdom, but yet I'm going to come and I'm going to love you anyway. We just had to know. If God had intended for us to understand that there was a good and an evil, He would have told us. It was not our burden to bear, it was His burden to bear. The existence of Satan, the existence of the war that was going on in the heavens over good and evil, that was never something we were supposed to be a part of. But we just had to know. That was never a burden that we were meant to carry, but we just had to know. And in the selfish pursuit of that awareness, we exchanged infinite divine wisdom, which is everything that God wanted us to know to be holy and live with Him, for the wisdom of the world, which locks us into a closed-minded, egotistical mindset that God is something other than what He has said. Satan said, surely, God, you won't die. In other words, he essentially calls God a liar. Notice that it says that she looked at the fruit and she saw that the tree was desired to make one wise. Here's the catch. She was already wise. She already had all of the wisdom that she needed to live in perfection with God. She already had everything. She had perfect paradise. Just because God doesn't reveal all the secrets of the universe to us doesn't mean that He's hiding things for some nefarious reason or because He likes to see us squirm under that control. God doesn't work like we do. He does not have bad intentions. He does not wish ill upon us. Let me give you an example. We're parents. Some of us are parents. Okay? Do you talk to your 5-year-old about all of the things that adults go through? Do you talk to them about all the things that go on in the adult world? Why? They can't bear up under the weight of it. Their mind, their mentality, their psychology, all of the things about their life cannot handle the things that adults go through. So you have to leak a little bit of reality to them as their maturity develops and they go through life, and they can handle it more and more and more. But you don't tell a 5-year-old everything that adults have to worry about and do. That's just not something that we do, right? So that doesn't mean that there's a nefarious reason that we're holding information back from our kids. It just means that they're not meant to carry that burden. Eve already knew what God wanted her to know, but she wanted to go beyond that. She wasn't satisfied. And in doing so, out of her pride, she lost access to divine wisdom, got kicked out of paradise, and got a curse placed on her. And Adam too. And in doing so, she showed that she was jealous that God knew things that she didn't. She was jealous that the serpent knew things that she didn't. She was selfishly ambitious to achieve knowledge that she had no right to achieve. She's full of pride. Earthly wisdom said, God isn't going to follow through on the death curse. He's a liar. The fruit is fine. The tree is fine. It's right in front of you. What harm could it possibly do? God is holding something back from you. Eat it. You'll be fine. And guess what? You'll know all of these secrets.